Prepare yourself for an entertaining and somewhat informative hour of MMA Talk Radio.
My mission here is to motivate.
Out of the red corner, Joe Show. Out of the blue corner, Timbo Slice. And your host, Fight Fit Lifestyle founder and UFC fighter, Stephen Ojo Peterson.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Just another life. Or
Another day in the life?
Another day in the life.
Another life.
Just another life.
Man, you're leaving multiple lives?
Every morning when I wake up, it's just a new life.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's just living in the fast lane. You know how it goes, Timbo?
Life in the fast lane.
Timbo's still kicking it with us, so that's good to know.
I'm still alive.
Still alive?
Still alive.
It's like The Walking Dead over here.
Just about.
So last weekend, we had some hella good fights. It was the first UFC of the year. Super excited. And now it's like, there's another one this week, and we're just boom, 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 knocking them out. So looking forward to the fights coming up. But let's talk about that McGregor fight.
We're going to go straight to the top.
Yeah,
huh?
you got to start with the main event. I've been asked about this all week, so I'm kind of like sick of talking about it. So this is the last time, and I'm actually going to put all my attention into this conversation. Because everybody was asking me, I was like, no, just listen to my show on Friday, and then you can hear
There you go.
all of my opinions on, what I thought went down, and yeah, McGregor looked freaking impressive. He looked good. The fight happened how a lot of us thought it was going to happen, but we had hoped that Cowboy would weather the storm and take it into deep water, but McGregor's a quick starter, and Cowboy's a slow starter, so he was able to do all that damage off the bat.
And I truly think the fights, it always does, it started days before. I mean, watching how he came out, McGregor came out, very different how he's been in the past.
I think him being respectful was part of the game plan to kind of
Mug him.
lull Cowboy into a false sense of security in there.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, you think, oh, it's going to be all cordial, but once that bell rings, it's a different,
But he continued with that afterwards.
Oh, of course.
After the fight, I mean, yes.
He was hugging all on his grandma.
Yeah. I mean, so is he a changed man, or is he a changed man for the week because he's been working with Tony Robbins and he's trying to have a different persona?
Man, in that post-fight interview, you could see him like being real analytical, but you could see just the animal wanted to jump out of him, and as soon as he done like saying what he needed to say, he's like, yeah,
Because
jumping out.
He has trouble controlling all that.
because he's in court. I mean, he's in trouble so much. He's been in trouble so much that lawyers are watching.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's watching.
So he's got to put on the good guy role.
Point taken.
Are we live on Facebook? On our page?
We're live everywhere on YouTube.
YouTube.
On our YouTube page.
YouTube.
I did not get a.
YouTube.
I don't think I got a.
I didn't get it either.
Notification.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Ooh, maybe we can start over.
Yeah, let's start over.
All right, prepare yourselves.
You want me to do the porn intro?
Yeah, yes, go ahead.
We should be live on our YouTube account, and we're fixing the YouTube or the Facebook thing as we speak.
All right.
Hopefully.
Cool. Technical terms. It's
Yes.
technical stuff.
So, yeah, I mean,
Theme of
Donald came out and not Donald, sorry, McGregor. There goes my fucking brain again. McGregor came out strong, and it was impressive. Like you said, I hoped it wouldn't go that way. Everyone said it was going to go that way, and it did.
the whole theme to that fight was what I say, honey dickin'. Honey dickin'. The whole press conferences, they were so cool and nice. Oh, a lot of respect for you. Oh yeah, great guy. They high-fiving each other. That is some serious honey dickin'.
I think they were just being cordial.
Oh, okay.
It's respect. And both of them knew how much money they were going to make this weekend or last weekend. So, I mean, they were just happy to be there.
Yeah. I did like seeing it, though. I like seeing the humble side of Conor McGregor, but you could see it wanted to come out.
Yeah.
You could see him biting his tongue, but, like his past, when he was fighting Nate Diaz or was, building up to Jose Aldo, he was a maniac.
Well, what do you think if he would have acted like that against Cowboy?
He'd have lost some fans.
I think Cowboy would have possibly came out harder. Been a little bit worked up.
You think so?
you
The
think
Cowboy's such a laid back fighter. He sits there and he pauses his jab and he doesn't really, you know,
He's just a laid back dude in general, it seems like.
yeah, just real laid back dude.
except when he's like jumping off mountains and stuff, or flying.
True, he is a
An
adrenaline
adrenaline
junkie, but as far as when it comes to fighting, he's fairly laid back.
But damn, 40
At least in
seconds.
that first round.
40 seconds.
There's not much to say about that, dude.
I
Man.
know. Yeah, I mean, you could circle for 40 seconds.
Yeah,
I mean,
I just
There's
think
a
that
short
the sheer aggression that McGregor brought forward, and as soon as they clinched up, and he started thrusting up with the shoulder butts, and probably broke his nose with the shoulder blow. Backed him up, kicked him in the head, and that kick was more of like a smack, but it brought him off balance, and then hit him with the flying knee, and
And then
then Cowboy, folds, eats.
Did he land that
a
knee?
Good amount of hammer fists. He landed that knee.
did he?
Yeah. It looked like partial, but that could have been the blow that broke his orbital. Cowboy ended up with a broken nose and a broken orbital.
So it was not bullshit.
In 40 seconds.
In 40
the fight.
seconds, he took some damage.
Yeah.
Damn.
And they were talking about, potentially it could have been a late stoppage, but no, you got to let Cowboy fight through
There's
that. And see.
No.
no way it was a late
You
stoppage.
it was.
I think they
justly
should've-
stopped at the right time.
Yeah, I didn't know all that damage had happened, but oh man, I was excited to see Conor McGregor perform so well, but at the same time, I was bummed to see
Very
Cowboy
disappointed.
get.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking for the
and-
Cowboy fans.
Yeah, it is. And then Conor McGregor's talking about he's going to fight. He wants to fight in 170. First of all, he barely made 170, right? We
Who's
saw
that?
Conor McGregor. He barely made. I bet he drank half a gallon of water before he got on that scale.
No, bullshit.
Because
He was walking around at 85.
He was walking around 160s.
It's 168 is what I heard.
Yeah,
a couple
beginning
days
of the week.
before the fight.
A couple days before that, he was 160 something pounds. Even his corner said it. Then his coach said it. Conor was talking about it.
I saw something where he was talking to Holly Holm, asking
Yeah.
her about weight, and she asked, "Well, where are you at?" And he goes, "I'm under right now."
Yeah.
Huh.
So, and he looked like he had kind of water hydrated before the weigh-in. I mean, he wasn't all.
For the public weigh-in.
So, this is what I'm saying. He's going to get his ass kicked at 170 because those guys are legitimately. A guy like Jeff the Hands of Steel Neal
Yeah, he would not
smash Conor McGregor.
It'd be a no-brainer. And the guys he's calling out, Jorge Masvidal, I think the Jorge Masvidal fight might be a good fight.
I think
because of
Jorge,
how he did with Diaz and how Jorge did with Diaz.
Mhm.
MMA math does not add up.
And-
But that being said, based off watching those two fight, the Diaz fight with McGregor and the Diaz fight with Masvidal, I think McGregor and Masvidal would be a good fight to make.
and Masvidal is not a big 170er either.
Exactly.
So
But then you start talking about Usman. I mean, you're
Come on,
just
or
playing with fire.
McGregor would not
Any
get
of
past.
the top 10 guys,
He wouldn't get past Tyron Woodley.
no.
Tyron Woodley would wrap him up.
It would be interesting to see him
That
go.
would be interesting
further
to see,
into the
'cause,
170 division.
Tyrone does kind of
He's a
sit
beast.
back and wait.
Yeah, but I don't-
sometimes he's a beast. He's had his moments.
yeah, he's had. I mean, Tyron Woodley mad because, man, if Conor McGregor talks shit to Tyron Woodley, Tyron Woodley's gonna go in and
He's gonna make a rap song about him.
Oh, he'll go in there and gorilla stomp his ass. So, unless Conor McGregor gets physically bigger, puts on a legitimate
How much
10,
bigger can he get? He looked bulky there. I'd like to see him go down to 55.
that's his natural. That's where he needs to be fighting.
Fight
55.
Gaethje.
He'd murder Gaethje.
I don't
think-
know. Gaethje knocked out Cerrone. That would be the
Yeah.
fight to make, but they don't want to give Gaethje, or McGregor doesn't want to give Gaethje that money.
Yeah.
That
So it all
opportunity.
comes down to
It comes down
politics
to
and-
it comes down to the most profitable fight for McGregor to make. He gets to name his shots. It's already
Yep.
it's been that way, and it's still that way. When you're the money fight, you get to pick your
Dictate
shots.
who's-
Yeah, you get to say who's next, and he's basically just feeling out, seeing what the fans want to see, and I bet you he'll take the easiest fight for the biggest buck in the next matchup, which
I'd like to see Masvidal McGregor.
would be Masvidal, because then you're talking BMF fight, and then that sets
And
him
he
up.
wants that title. He wants that belt too.
That sets him up for potentially fighting Usman, even though I don't think that's a good matchup for him. That puts him, if he doesn't take that fight, then Masvidal is going to probably fight Usman next. So he's got to fight him now.
Yeah, I'd rather see
There's a short window of opportunity for that money fight.
I'd rather see Masvidal McGregor. And I wonder what it would be like. I just want to see the pre-show to
the
that.
press, the press.
I want to see the
leading
press
up
to
to
that.
would be, that'd be intense.
Man, that'd be.
He would change back to his old ways. I mean, he'd be out there talking shit and going to town with it, I believe.
I don't think he'll ever go full like.
I don't think that's his old ways. I think that's a tactic. I think it's a well thought out tactic, and I've done that too. I've talked shit to guys just to get in their head, especially when I was back in the amateur days.
Mhm.
I would just rage and start punching myself in the face, and then as soon as the fight started, they'd crumble in
They're
front
like,
of me.
oh man, there's a
They're
fucking
like,
lunatic over there.
This guy's locked in the cage with me, and they would just crumble. So I think that's part of his MO. That's one of his strategies, and just the way he fought Cowboy, or the way he did the press leading up to Cowboy, was catered towards that fight because he wanted Cowboy to be.
How much money Cowboy make off that? $1 million?
$2
$2
well,
million?
his official disclosed was
200.
200,000.
Yep.
But
What?
But we all know that's a load of shit. Cowboy made upwards of $1 million. I heard he made $2 million, and McGregor made $5 million.
That ain't bad.
That ain't bad at all.
Did you see McGregor's 4-year payout?
Oh yeah,
It was
Yeah.
up to it was like $200 million he'd made in the last 4 years. He
Yep.
made 50-something million last year and didn't even throw a punch. Not in a ring. I mean, maybe in a bar or somewhere else, but it didn't even.
He lost money for those ones.
Yeah.
He's
So
still
what did he have to pay out? Huh?
he spent a few. I bet he spends millions in court fees and lawyers.
He's probably got a lawyer on retainer.
I was gonna say yes, he does.
And I bet it. I mean, it's. I bet he.
Get me out again.
Those retainers
He's on
are big.
speed dial.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are big retainers. They're probably $100,000 retainers. Damn.
But now he's cool with the president, so he'll probably get
that was interesting to see that. I mean,
phenomenal president,
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
who threw that out there first? Did he tweet
Well,
first,
yeah,
or did
Donald
or did,
Trump had tweeted,
Nice-
congratulations, great fight, or whatever, and then he tweeted to Donald, you're a phenomenal president. I
You're
think
the-
he
you're
said
the-
something
you're
to
the
best,
goat.
the goat.
That's pretty cool.
You're gonna have a freaking what's his name, Trump walking out there with the glasses. Yeah, I'm the
Trump's
goat.
gonna- yeah,
I'm the
Trump's gonna get the walk.
I'm
Doing the billionaire
still in
strut.
this walk.
Yeah,
You can see the president walk out doing the Conor McGregor. It's my walk now.
that would be something, huh?
But then a lot of people said, well, McGregor just lost a bunch of fans because of that. Because he,
Oh bullshit!
Bullshit.
I mean,
I like it better.
there's a lot of. Yes, I agree with that one. But there's a lot of Trump haters who are like,
Oh, yeah,
fuck it,
how
he
you
likes
gonna-
Trump. I'm gonna.
How are you gonna bash him for showing respect for the president?
Yeah, that's right.
People do some crazy shit.
It's un-American.
They're-
It's
people are-
un-American to disrespect the president. You should
bottom
totally
line.
agreed.
You should
Bottom
put your opinion is one thing, but to show disrespect towards your, commander in chief or president, that guy's in charge of the country. He's got a lot.
No matter who's the leader of your country, you want them to do well for
Your
the
country, yeah.
and it does reflect down upon everybody else. Of, no, I want this guy to fail. I'm like,
Try
okay,
not
that
to
means-
get too much into politics,
yeah.
but it's a bunch of bullshit. Come on, show some respect,
Yeah,
man.
show some
I mean,
respect. Economy's good. Country's safe. Because
Yeah.
nobody's gonna fuck. You don't want to fuck with Donald Trump. He'll bomb your ass, buddy. You're like, you're not fucking with that guy. He's
No.
already built
If
up
you
the
start
military.
fucking with him, you better look in the sky and watch how many drones
Yeah.
are following your ass.
Yeah,
He'll come kick your ass.
seriously.
Just like he did Vince McMahon in the fucking SmackDown, baby.
what other country has a president that has done WWF?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Uh,
Oh man,
so
that's
dope.
funny.
All right, another fight that stood out was the Macy Barber fight with Roxanne.
Ooh, she got whooped.
Wish I'd
Man.
put some money on that thing, huh?
I know, seriously.
I was happy for
I
Roxanne.
think she was a 6-1 underdog.
Man,
I don't know how. Just because Macy had all this hype going with her, she was what 6-0.
Macy has squeaked out
But
some
how
wins
do you
though.
get so much hype when you only, it's because the women's division is so shallow. There's not so many. You go 6-0, and then now they're talking about you being the next champ,
Ronda,
and
you're the next Ronda Rousey
yeah,
kid.
it's who has she fought?
Yeah.
right.
And
Who?
then her dad
what
comes
names
out.
are-
Her dad comes out saying all kinds of shit on Twitter of it really wasn't a fight. She it shouldn't be declared as a loss to her.
So I mean,
She got her ass
Because she got
it's
he's like she got
definitely
injured in the
a
first 10
loss.
seconds is what he was saying, and Roxanne's like it didn't happen the first 10 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, props to Macy for sucking it up.
Yes,
and
huge props.
her father does not. I mean, he might represent her, but he does not represent her in the fact that he can't make a statement
Right.
coming from her. That statement came from him.
It came from him.
She
and,
showed respect.
and Roxanne had a great response to that. Of what, it's her dad. He's
Yeah.
going to say shit like that. My dad said shit like
Your
that. All
dad
fathers are
should
gonna do-
always get
Yes.
your back.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Absolutely.
But the rules of the game is whether you got injured or not, you lost. I mean,
Yes.
look at freaking Carlos Condit when he fought Tyrone Woodley. He got leg kicked, spun around, tore his ACL,
yeah.
and lost the fight.
that
I
kick
mean,
was on purpose.
You didn't see him going around, oh, I wouldn't have lost if I didn't get hurt. Dude threw a leg kick as
Yeah.
you were spinning, and it tore your
Oh,
ACL.
man.
It
And
happened.
I wouldn't have
even-
lost if he'd knocked me
It's a-
out.
It's a fight. You're
Yeah.
trying to hurt the guy.
And a couple years ago with Julia Alva, she blocked a kick and it compound fractured her finger.
Mm-hmm.
Her bone's sticking out. She wants to keep going, but they're stopping the fight. So it's still a loss for her, but it's an unfortunate.
It's unfortunate, but that
it's
kick
part of the
did
game.
the damage, and
Yep.
that kick was meant to do damage. So, I mean,
I've done that before. I blocked a punch, open hand. The guy came down, and it bent this finger so far back that it popped the skin open. I could see the bone.
Nice.
Yeah.
at least it'd be easy to put it back. You know how to,
It wasn't sticking
how it
out, but it
goes.
was just opened, and then they put 5 little stitches in it.
Nice.
But no, I thought
Nice.
I thought she looked good. That was that was one of the better fights of the night.
I thought both of them looked fairly good. It was a good scrap. You could tell that Macy was injured late in the second round.
Yeah, and when she went down and grabbed her leg, when she came up to
Yeah.
the third, she had trouble even standing.
And I heard I saw some fans just ripping on the doctor and the ref for letting it continue. Like, how could you let her risk future, her future in the sport? It's a fight.
It's already torn. How is she going to do more damage?
Well, potentially. If it's a partial tear, you could tear it fully.
Tear it all the way, but I heard it's a full tear. But did it partial and then went to
The
full?
doctor diagnosed a partial tear in between rounds, but he can't fully diagnose exactly what's going on there. The fact of the matter is, if she can continue to fight and she wants to continue to fight, you let her fight. It's not you. When you're in the fight, it's not about the future. It's about right there and right then. And you have to be willing to risk it all for that one win. And I think that was, the right decision for her corner and for the doctors to let her go in there, continue to fight. It's not a football game. This is a fight. You trained 3 months for this one night, It's not like
for 15 minutes.
It's not like, take him off the field and somebody else is going to take his place or her place.
Yeah.
You're in there. You're already in there. You're in the fight. You could still win, and you could be, immortalized with that win, especially with, if she would have overcame the injury and pulled something off, it could have been epic. So you got to let that fight continue.
Even with the loss, and she has probably gained a ton of fans and respect for how she continued on with how damaged she was with that. Where she
Definitely.
when they say partial tear, she could have stopped, but she kept going.
She could have quit.
She
yeah.
kept
And then
pushing
she would've
forward, and
looked
she was
really
that warrior that wanted to step in there. So she gained a lot of respect and probably a lot more fans for that. So I don't think it's going to damage her in the future. She's going to be sidelined for a bit.
I think she'll be sidelined for a bit, but with the medical advances, ACL repair is standard now. I mean, it's. I know it's shitty, but
it used to end your career.
Yeah,
that was
it used to be a career ender. Now it's a 9-month recovery.
It's crazy.
And I got teammates. I'm not going to name any names, but they've gone through it, and they're already back in the gym, and it's only been a couple of months. It's gotten so streamlined, and then on top of the actual ACL repaired. Now they have stem cells and other things
That
along
can really
those
boost
lines
that along there.
that can boost the recovery time much better and make it to where it was almost like it never happened.
It'll come back super strong.
Yeah, it'll come back. Yeah, you come back with
We
new
can
baby
rebuild
joints. We can rebuild. You come back with baby joints.
The
I
$1
mean,
million man, baby joints. Are those real little joints?
So for the record, the stem cells come from the placenta, not from.
What did you
babies.
say?
The placenta.
Oh, thought you said.
Not from the babies.
Oh,
According to what I'm told, the specific stem cells that they
Hey,
give
if it's
us
working, do you care where it
badly.
came from?
what was that movie where they clone the celebrities, and then when the celebrity got sick, they would go find the clone and take their livers? And,
Couple of movies.
yeah, there's a few movies like that.
They did that in the Superman movie, Smallville.
Did they really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
the Lex Luthor. He was building clones. It's like normal now.
Yeah, I would grow one to replace. You need one for your liver, Timbo Slice.
You're full of shit.
Prepare yourselves for a commercial break. This is Fight Fit Lifestyle Radio. We'll be back after these messages.
3, 2, 1. KVGIRadio.com.
Y'all have really just opened my bubble and just.
KVGI Radio brings you conversation and entertainment. Be sure to follow us on social media. Who streams the best talk shows? We do.
You're listening to KVGIRadio.com. Streaming live from the KVGI studios in Frisco, Texas. Live without limits.
No, I'm not ready.
Prepare yourself for an entertaining and somewhat informative hour of MMA Talk Radio.
My mission here is to motivate.
Out of the red corner, Joe Show. Out of the blue corner, Timbo Slice. and your host, Fight Fit Lifestyle founder and UFC fighter, Stephen Ocho Peterson.
You guys sometimes like not know what to do as you're being introduced.
No.
Like what do I do?
That's why I do a hand move.
You got this. All
Yeah.
right. I know what to do when I'm actually like fighting. I took it from Tito Ortiz way back in the day. Nobody's ever
Caught on. What do you
but
do?
this thing,
Oh, yeah.
Stephen Ocho Peterson, and then you throw it down. I got it from Tito
You know what?
Ortiz.
You're right. That was a Tito
Yeah.
thing.
Didn't
huh?
Tito used to bury people? He would.
Yeah. Yes,
that's his finisher. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's cool.
when they announce him, he always does the high knee jump with the knees to his ribs, and then
A lot of guys
finger
do that.
up in the air, and then drops it when they say Ortiz.
Almost
so I
like,
took
waving
that
the
part of
flag,
it.
ready
Yeah.
to go, dropping the flag.
We could have a whole segment on that, on different stuff.
People, yeah, and some people like Mighty Mouse. He does
Yeah.
that little thing, and then
It's like
you know,
a video.
everybody's
It's a
got
video
the-
game.
You gotta have your signature walkout, and there's been times when I've slightly changed it up. Let me think what happened in those fights.
What about
Not good things.
Don't change it
Yeah,
up.
when I do, when I do it right, good things happen. But I have added a couple little things that maybe nerdy fans that really pay attention would pick up on. But I always
Damn,
do
we're gonna
this.
have to go back and watch
yeah.
now, huh?
You go back and watch, and what's
Well,
cool?
You dive roll into the cage.
I do that. And when I do that, usually good things happen. I've done that in
who used to
5
crawl?
fights, maybe.
Who used to crawl like an animal? Who used
John Jones does it.
to, Rashad
Rashad Evans does it. Yeah.
And what? Who? Man, I had one at the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it in a second.
Yeah, there's been times when I beasted in the cage, and then times when I dive roll. Now I go with the dive roll because it really gets my adrenaline pumping. Try to wait till the last second
What if
to
you
roll
miss?
it out. Well, yeah, because if I fuck it up,
knock yourself out before
then
the
I'm
fight
gonna like
starts.
scorpion across the thing.
I've done that, dude.
And the canvas is like a rug because it's absorbent. So you
Oh.
get rug burns from the canvas in the octagon. Like literally, if you get ground and pound or you're on your knees, you'll have rug burns the next day on your knees. So if I were to like
Giggity.
miss that, would be on my
Slice and
my
try to crush your face.
That would
Little
be
road
pretty
rash or
brutal,
canvas
but-
rash.
But yeah, it definitely gives me a rush of adrenaline as soon as I hit that dive roll and hop up. So it gets you pumped for the moment. Yeah, we should do a whole segment on different fighters and their different things and who stole this from what, from who. I give him credit. I got it from Tito.
And there was.
Yes, you did.
What
Yeah.
did Anderson Silva? What did he do? He didn't do nothing special, did he? No.
Yeah, he's real laid back.
They do a little prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would kind of kneel in the, kind of squat
Yeah.
down before he walked into the
John
cage.
Jones
And then-
always faces
there's-
away.
Mm-hmm.
And faces away towards the cage and sits in that squatted position, and then he turns around
And gives him the
monkey
evil.
style.
Gives him the evil eye.
So it's really cool. It's different
Who
person's signatures.
who goes with that one?
Which one's that?
What, how's
Who's the bird?
That's
Who's the bird? Come on,
that's
Charles Bird.
Charles
yes.
Bird.
Yes, he
Charlie
does.
Charlie Bird.
Yeah, he's got the signature bird. That's pretty cool.
Man, I want to see Charles fight again.
Yeah, he had some things going on outside of the octagon that he needed to get taken care of, but he's still on the roster, and I would love to see him back in there.
Oh man, he's one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah, he's always exciting.
Cause you just know, timing's right, training's good. That guy could be a freaking world champion.
Yeah, he's got
he's top
such high level striking,
Top.
good wrestling.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to see him back in the cage. Big fan of that dude.
So it was a good number 3 fight on that. I'd say that my favorite one was the McGregor fight.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Roxanne fight. Was really happy to see her. win.
Roxanne was piecing her up though on the hands. I mean, she looked
all around.
She looked like
really
an MMA
good.
fighter.
Yeah, she looked really good.
She didn't
was-
look as jerky as she's.
as she's looked in the past.
Yes.
Yeah,
She's gotten
looked
better.
a lot more fluid.
She was more of a jiu-jitsu player early in her career. It seemed like she was like a submission, but she won. She wins. She's fun to watch.
Yes.
She's real nerdy.
she is, and she's such a good person. I San Antonio, I think, when I fought
Fuckface.
Alex Caceres. She was there on that card as well, and we stayed in the same hotel. And I couple conversations with her. She was real just
Real
down
humble,
to earth,
real
and
down to earth.
super nerdy, just like super cool nerdy.
She's into
So
Star
you
Trek
think
and shit.
she brings in that nerdy side of
She
the
brings
fan base.
her own fan base to the sport, which is really cool.
But I think she's very unique with it. So she's also, I mean, she brought some fans in, but she's created newer fans as well, just
Right.
the way she is.
yeah, she's earned a lot of fans, especially after that last win.
Wasn't she an Invicta champion or something? Did she have a belt at one time?
I believe so.
'Cause she was on the
She
show.
was one of the pioneers of the sport for sure.
For sure.
She's one of the first female fighters to make a name for herself. What was another fight on there? Sodiku.
Yeah?
Sud-
Is that Spanish?
fuck. Andre Fili.
An-
Touchy Fili.
Andre Touchy-Fili.
Andre Touchy Fili fought Sodiq, which is the Yusuf, yeah, Sodiq Yusuf, and he's another up and comer in the featherweight division.
And he beat up.
Was knocking people out, but he showed a whole nother side to his game when he fought Andre Fili, because Fili is a striker,
Mhm.
and so was Sodiq for the most part. He's shown a lot of striking, but he was able to. I mean, he didn't want to strike with the striker and make it more of an even match. He took him down and just controlled him, knee on belly, just absolutely just destroyed him on the ground and showed a major hole in his game. So I think Sadiq looked really good in that fight, and I think he's going to be, a main event, co-main eventer coming up here pretty soon.
There's some pretty good undercard scraps. What was the guy with the mullet who got knocked out on his feet and he kind of
Elliot.
Tim Elliott. So
He
Tim Elliott was
woke back up. Yeah,
he was in the UFC a long time
I
ago.
remember that.
And he got cut, and then he got back through the Ultimate Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you guys don't understand. When you make it to the UFC, it's not like all your problems are gone.
They're just starting.
Yeah, you got your own. And I'm not sure if they said anything on the telecast, but I know he was coming off of a knee injury where he had his ACL repaired. So I had seen him up at the PI, and he was, it was about maybe a year ago, 9 months ago, where he was just post-op, and he was in a bad way. So it was good to see him back in there. It's just
He put up a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah.
He had one really nice throw.
He had a
He had
couple
of
nice throws.
Threw him
Dude.
over his head.
Some judo.
He's super dynamic, but he's not able to just put it together and dominate that way.
And
But
he's-
easier said.
But when
than
he got
Right.
caught in the first, I mean, I thought he was done. I mean, he was slumping over like, and all of a sudden something.
Dude, he woke back
he
up.
woke back up.
Dude.
I didn't understand his third round tactics though. I mean, coming forward with his hands down and just getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
I mean,
those are points.
but
probably just fucking exhausted.
because at that point I thought this could be one round apiece.
It could have been. I thought it was a bad decision for him to be doing that. He should have,
Stuck and move.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. He should have stuck and move and not.
Sometimes when you're tired, I'll speak from experience. You're just like, just punch me in the face so I can punch you back. And I'm gonna try and hit you harder.
And it almost looked like he was trying to
Bait him in,
bait him
right.
in to get this
It's-
going.
yeah.
And let's put on a show for this final round. Let's go.
Who did he fight?
Possibly, going for the fight of the night.
What
What was the guy's name? I can't. I don't have my glasses.
Hey.
Askar.
He was like a
Askar.
Russian dude.
Yeah.
Some
Russian dude.
Like,
He's
don't
Lebanon.
even try, because you'll butcher their name,
Yeah,
and
like
then they'll be
a
all
Russian-
pissed off.
And then it's in the Russian.
Askarov.
My
that was pretty good.
Been practicing that one for a week.
Let me see that thing.
Diego Fiera.
I was
It's
wondering when we were
Showtime
going to get
Pettis.
this.
I was saving
Yeah.
the best
Yep,
for last.
Yep. That's what I was trying to think of.
Exactly what we had thought might happen in that fight happened. I mean, Pettis has shown in the past he's weak to the wrestling. When it's a wrestling heavy match, he kind of crumbles. You take him down a couple of times, and he just seems to give up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Diego had to do, is just put the pressure on him, get a hold of him. In the first round, he took him down, took his back, and Pettis survived. And I don't remember the corner what coach said in between, but I'm sure it was put him against the cage, take him down, and finish this fight. And that's exactly what he did. I mean, you know,
He made it look easy.
He showed.
Yeah, he did.
He showed the hole in the first round, and for a fighter, when you're in there, it's like, oh shit, it's actually working. And you know, when you do it right, it is easy. if you do everything right,
You follow the recipe.
It's
it comes
when you
out.
fuck up that it gets hard, because then you start eating shots and you get tired. But if you do it right, you don't even get tired, because those were high percentage, low energy takedowns that he was hitting. He wasn't like lifting him and slamming him. He was analytically dragging him to the ground, and Pettis was, you know, just flopping and giving his back.
He stayed really close to him.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't get in Pettis' power range with the long kicks.
Yeah,
and
you don't stay.
He got real
kicking
close to
range.
him.
Yeah.
And he was kind of marching in left knee almost like a jiu-jitsu player trying to get in close it reminded me of old school Hoist Gracie.
Right, coming in with the high knee.
Yeah, coming in with the knees high, you know, just to block whatever, grab a hold in the guy, because you know he knew.
That was not part of the game plan, by the way. The crouching tiger coming in there with the knee up. That was improv on his part.
It reminded me of old school Hoist Gracie, the way he would come in,
because it's dangerous.
He just wanted to come in.
You can get swept. The posting leg can get swept out from underneath you if you're coming in with one leg high. So you know it's. But in the moment, it kind of got Pettis on his back foot and got him to back right up against the cage.
It was like a neck crank.
The finish was
it wasn't even like
under the chin.
Yeah,
no.
It was kind of just more crushing the shit out of his face.
And Pettis just,
oh man. Pettis is sometimes he wins,
sometimes
he loses.
but that's just the way the game's gotten to this point. It's like these guys, the former champs, it's shown that they're not well rounded, and you have to be well rounded in this day and age just to make it to the top.
Exactly.
So all these guys that are at the top with all these holes, they're starting to slowly fall from grace.
Fortis MMA.
And speaking of Fortis MMA, I mean, as I'm sitting there watching that fight, I've never been in the gym with them and listening to them, but I know that, as heard this with fighters, of they hear their with all that noise and everything going on, they hear their coach. They focus in on that voice. I'm sitting there watching it, going, that's all they fucking hear is coach say.
Yeah, you can
and,
hear
and
him
I've heard him so many times just in other fights and being around. I'm like, there is his voice in the background, and it's what's really cool is, well, not
22
so much
laser.
Not too much with him, because with when he calls out something, but he's always with different codes, like with the 22 laser or Texas, Oklahoma. Right? I've heard all kinds of different things.
You hear it with all the coaches, but you especially hear it
with Coach Safe.
Yeah,
and to watch the fighter then, oh shit, and responds and does what coach has asked him to do, and then it's like you said, that shit worked.
Yeah, and it works, and we got to constantly change up the code, because
right.
There's some of us that
there's people that
have
from Houston that are trying to steal codes.
And there's some of us that have given out the code in our post-fight interview. Like, yeah, coach called for this, and then that means this, and I did
Stranger danger. Stranger danger. That means take us back.
You gotta
you always gotta rewrite the
codes,
the playbook.
You can't be letting people catch up on those, especially on the high levels. On low level, it's like you can be like jab, cross, head kick, and they're not gonna pick it up before you can actually throw it. They're not gonna be like, oh, he's throwing this. On the high level, you can feel that if somebody says jab, cross, head kick, you
hear that,
recognize that instantly. But you start giving a code. It takes, even if I know what the code means, it takes a second for my mind to interpret it. You know, and by the time that I think about it, it's already been thrown.
And then the guy knows something's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
he knows something's coming.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could disguise.
Well,
low kick,
you're
high
you're in the
kick.
cage. You know something's coming.
Twist his dick. What was that? Remember that meme going around with the guy in the audience was yelling, "Twist his dick."
Yeah, I'm sure you love that.
Timbo loves it.
Fuck you. You're the one.
See how I deflected that really easily?
Yeah.
You're the one talking about it, Joe.
That was funny.
And your gnome.
It was on Facebook.
You and your gnome too.
Yeah, when I came out, everybody was saying that at all the fights, and it's so annoying when you're in there fighting. It's like,
did
oh
you ever
my
do
God.
it though?
Like, no, I've never. Prepare yourselves for a commercial break. This is Fight Fit Radio. We'll be back after these messages.
3, 2, 1. KVGIRadio.com.
Y'all really just opened my bubble and just.
KVGI Radio brings you conversation and entertainment. Be sure to follow us on social media. Who streams the best talk shows? We do.
You're listening to KVGIRadio.com. Streaming live from the KVGI studios in Frisco, Texas. Live without limits.
Prepare yourself for an entertaining and somewhat informative hour of MMA Talk Radio.
My mission here is to motivate.
Out of the red corner, Joe Show. Out of the blue corner, Timbo Slice. And your host, Fight Fit Lifestyle founder and UFC fighter, Stephen Ocho Peterson.
So next week
Doesn't look as good on the radio.
So next week's show would be drugs Joe has done. We're gonna have a whole hour segment of the shit I used to get into.
Drugs are bad.
Weed is good. Drugs are bad, but weed is good.
Weed is medicine.
Yes, it is.
Medical marijuana.
Medical marijuana in legal states only.
In legal states.
Where it's legal.
So, yeah, I didn't really have any other fights that really stood out on that card that I wanted to really talk about. I know this weekend we got both UFC and Bellator.
Did you say both?
Both UFC.
Do you use an L when you say both? Say it again.
Both.
Say it again.
Both.
He does.
Booth.
A boot.
Booth.
So,
Cyborg's fighting the for the women's Bellator.
That is gonna be good.
championship. That's going to be a
Julia
really good
Budd.
fight.
Yep.
Julia Budd. That's going to be a really good fight. I'm really looking forward to that.
oh, who else? Holly Holmes fought Raquel Pennington.
Yeah.
Let's get back on.
Kind of just held on.
She, she fought the smart fight. She didn't take any damage. She pushed her against the cage. She bigger grilled her. She muscled her around and
muscled her around.
and got the win. And she didn't. Holly looked like she took actually more damage than Roxanne. Didn't have a mark on her face.
Right, but Holly
Rocky.
control.
I call her Roxanne. Raquel Pennington.
Raquel, yeah.
Yeah.
Raquel was pissed afterwards. She go, I want to know
She
they're
couldn't
going.
let her hands go because she was getting wrestled.
But,
Yeah.
but that's
is part of the
part of
sport.
Yes,
Yeah.
they
It's
talked
a-
about that. It's like, okay, this
It's
is part
not
of
a
the sport.
boxing match. It's an MMA match, and that's part. That being said, I don't know who the ref was, but the ref could have separated them quite a few times. Up
they did
against the
once.
cage. Yeah,
But
more-
when is? I mean, even Rogan put that out there during the broadcast.
when
of-
is the right time to separate?
yeah,
them?
when do you separate them?
Rogan thinks never.
Let the fighters fight, but then again, they can stall. You can't let them stall.
Well, if you're seeing them,
Mhm.
if you're obviously seeing them stall, but his point
if
was
they're
if
fighting.
if you take them down to the ground and you're mauling them on the ground, you're not always necessarily doing ground and pound, but you're putting your jiu-jitsu wheel on them.
and you're
it's-
taking
It's
their
their job.
energy,
It's their job to get their ass up.
Mm-hmm. It is the fighter's job to fight through those positions and fight out of those positions.
I know.
You
I
can't
thought
depend on the ref to come save you.
Holly fought a smart fight. She got the victory.
there was one thing that you kept noticing and you kept pointing out about
Her
Holly's fight.
Her ass.
Yes.
Man. Oh. Yeah.
Sorry, you should have been there.
You saw that fight, right?
I saw the fight.
Yeah.
I was at a teammate's house, so
She had those little booty shorts on. Holly did.
Yep.
Yeah, Timbo was like, yep. But, yeah, I'm a big fan.
sure you are.
I followed a little bit of her boxing career,
Man, somebody's
I love her videos. She does the coolest dance.
She does some real cute dance
dance
videos,
videos,
and stuff
her-
like that.
Her and the Karate Hottie, and she plays it up. She does
Mhm.
the bikini shots and the pretty girl shots and the fit girl
she
shots.
knows some that shit sells. So
She's man, she's got a killer body.
Yep.
For her
she's
physique,
worked hard to get a body
so
like that.
athletic.
She's got a
Yeah, I ain't mad at her. Anyways, back to what's going on.
Somebody is really fucking quiet about ass cheeks today.
Hey, I just got to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. Why? Who's listening?
These are my coworkers.
Yeah, I guess
and
so.
I know,
I don't work for the
know
UFC.
them, and I have a reputation to uphold.
Speaking of,
Hey, I'm respectful to the women. I'm not a dog like you, Joe Show.
I'm married, man.
Now he's going
I
to
can't
deflect.
be-
He's
I
going to
can't be a
deflect that
dog.
shit to me now, isn't he?
Now, speaking of dogs,
Timbo enables him.
hey, one thing
He
you're
laughs
welcome.
at his jokes. I just look.
There's
at
nothing dirtier than UFC fighters and sailors. That's all I'm saying. No. Do you get more girls now that you're a UFC fighter, or before?
Definitely now, and especially since my last fight.
I baited him into that one.
I've never been more sexual in my life.
Sexful.
I get more now because I'm a friend of his.
Thanks for telling me that. Do you really? That's why Lisa doesn't let me hang out with y'all. I'm like, can I go with Timbo? And no.
It's a clout thing. It's a fame thing. I haven't changed as far as looks go. I mean, I stay in shape more year round now that I'm in the UFC, because before I'd kind of let myself go a little bit in between fights, and now I know, one, I could be called to a big stage to fight on short notice, and two, just I'm in the public eye. People are looking at me, so I can't be a fat piece of shit. I gotta, I gotta keep my act together and at least, stay in shape.
Because what do you got to do? Always.
Fight fit lifestyle.
You got to live that fight fit lifestyle.
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, that answers that question for you.
So back to the. So we covered Holly Holmes.
Yeah, we just got to talk about the fights coming up. We got 10 more minutes left in the show. We got some fights coming up this weekend. Junior Dos Santos fighting not Curtis Blades.
Oh, really?
No, not Curtis Blades.
Yes, you're correct.
Oh,
Chris
yeah.
Blades.
Okay, so at least I know something.
Man,
So
Junior Dos
my computer
Santos
does too.
is fighting Curtis Blades in the main event.
And let's talk about Junior, man. Talking about OG badass warrior who's still winning fights.
Yeah.
That guy's still knocking people out.
And some said he was done after the Kane fight when he just got whooped up on in that Kane rematch.
But he
Yeah,
knocked Kane out the first time.
Yeah, he knocked him out the first time, and then he's won some good fights.
And
since
he just came off a victory. He's got a little streak going, doesn't he?
No, he lost to Francis Ngannou.
His last fight?
he got knocked out by Nagano.
The last fight.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
according to my sources.
Well, that's not bad when you can come off of a KO loss and still be the main event.
He's a big draw. He's got a
He
big.
is a big draw, and they had him on Dancing with the Stars.
Did they
for
really?
Like a similar,
a Brazilian one?
yeah,
A Latin America?
Latin America type dancing show.
Is it still
Yeah,
Latin
he looked
America?
pretty good.
Brazil still Latin America? I don't know.
And he probably used that cardio in with his training camp because his physique looked really good. He looked
Did it
in
now?
shape, yeah.
No
homo. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's anything wrong. It's just not my choice.
I had a person a famous person that's a friend of mine had got on one of my posts, or he had texted me and said, "Take that." He said the post is good, but take down the part where you said no homo. Say you have no idea. The media will slay you for this in the future.
Slay it.
For using words like no homo. It's like now I gotta say, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it was a picture of me holding Fernie after he won. He jumped in my arms, his legs wrapped around me.
Tell it
I was
slower.
like,
Wait a minute.
Caption this.
Tell it
no homo
Tell it slower. Tell it slower.
in that voice.
Yes.
Yes.
So as he
So
leaped into
as
my
Bernie-
arms.
So you have that.
Here you go.
On the MMA related things, you have that card up for me.
Yes, I do. So you have Curtis Blades and Junior Dos Santos on the main event. You have Rafael Dos Anjos and
Dos Anjos.
He's
Michael
another badass.
Chiesa.
Michael Chiesa has been on a tear as well. I believe he's still on a win streak.
Yeah.
Stand by one.
I don't know. I'm not a Chiesa fan.
I think he's good. He's got great jiu-jitsu.
He is good.
You don't have
He
to be a
is-
fan of the guy to think he's good.
No, I know he's good. I mean, I'm not hating on him, but
I'm pretty sure he's suing McGregor. I wonder what happened with that for the bus
the bus
incident.
yeah.
He got cut.
He
Yeah.
got cut and didn't
in
get a
Chiesa
fight.
Didn't get to fight the next day.
in Chiesa the leg lock guy?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody
So
else.
his last fight was he beat Diego Sanchez, and before that was Carlos Condit.
Yeah, he mopped the floor with Diego. And Carlos Conde, he put him on the back and got that one-armed Kimura.
Oh yeah. Oh well,
Damn, you got a good.
you got a great memory. Tugging that alpha brain, huh?
Yep, that on it, Alpha Brain.
Yeah, I need to get some of that shit.
Talk to Joe.
Joe Rogan.
He talks about it all the time. That stuff works, man. I wouldn't talk about it if it didn't work.
I want
It's like
some.
CBD. I feel like
Joe
that
Rogan
works.
on it.
Alpha
Amazing.
what brain?
Alpha,
Alpha
brain. That's you need it.
It's all a natural supplement. Helps your brain neurons fire off faster so you can think better.
It says take one on the bottle, but
Huh?
you probably take two.
Huh? Can you say that again slowly for me?
Helps the neurons in your brain fire off faster so you can think faster.
Kind of like
So you can think better.
kind of like
Bro,
cocaine.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, I gave it to one of my friends for he had like finals and stuff. And he's like, man, I've been studying, but I can't think. I gave it to him. He's like, damn, this shit really works.
Damn, I'm gonna get some.
Mm-hmm.
Can you buy it at Ultimate Nutrition or anything like that?
Probably. Yeah, it's an on-it supplement, so they got it.
I'm gonna go try some. I get all smart and shit.
Mm.
That would be amazing.
It would be cool. Be all intelligated. So
Dos Anjos versus Chiesa, that's an interesting matchup. I think Dos Anjos has
he's got
all the tools to beat Chiesa. The stand-up, and then I think he's better on the ground as well.
he's shorter and stockier too.
He is shorter and stockier. Chiesa does have some ranginess.
What weight are they fighting at?
55,
170.
170.
Yeah.
Is Dos Anjos just going to stay at 170 now?
Dos Anjos was the 45 champion, wasn't he? 55
champ.
He was the 55 champ.
Yep.
Didn't that happen in Dallas when he won that championship? He
Yep.
beat Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, he was at 55 his whole career, but now I guess a lot of these guys are going up to 70. A lot of people are going up a weight class, and I think it's smart.
Yes, it is.
I think
Very
by the
smart.
end of my career, I'll be at 55. Just because, as you age, it gets harder and harder to cut weight.
Yeah.
Muscles get denser. So,
Yeah. And it's harder to lose fat at that age.
Yeah.
You may literally be killing yourself trying to cut that weight. What do you think about Cyborg fighting the other lady?
Julia Budd?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good test for Cyborg. I think she'll have to stay composed and not do what she did with Amanda Nunes. And just, because she's used to intimidating women. But now these women are coming up are fairly high level. And like we talked about at the beginning of the show, the intimidation factor only works until you get to the high level. And it's like, no, whether you're trying to scare me or not, it's not going to change the fight. You know what I mean?
Right. She's not getting in their heads like they used to.
Right.
And she's getting a little bit older, and she's got a couple of losses under her belt.
And she's been knocked out.
She's been knocked out. Good kickboxer. When she fought Muay Thai at
I wonder
with
what
Lion
the,
Fights.
I wonder what the testing's like in Bellator nowadays, as far as the performance-enhancing drugs.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
She comes out
Because they did catch a couple of the guys.
in Bellator
Yeah, in Bellator. They've gotten a couple of them.
for PEDing.
I think it was Shamrock, I want to say.
Shamrock.
Yeah, when he made that
This was like
return
100 years
fight.
ago.
Yeah, when he made that return fight to fight. Did he fight Tito when he came back? It was like 5 years ago. They caught him. It was in like Dallas, I believe.
Yeah, he was like 50 years old already.
Yeah.
We should let him-
They caught him for all kinds of shit in the system.
He needed that just
He needed it just to get up.
Damn.
But yeah, I mean, but it's not USADA. So
they're not governed by USADA, but they have
no.
their own governing body that tests.
How is that-
that tests on
how?
fight night?
How was USADA not over everything? Any pro sport
I thought
It's only UFC because
And
UFC
boxing.
hired them.
and boxing?
Certain boxing associations.
oh, I did not know that.
because they have to hire them.
So it's not
So
you.
they're an
UFC
outside source, or they're
it's
not.
Yeah, it's not all because the Texas Commission also does testing, and each commission in themselves is subject to random testing. So you can get drug tested by USADA and by Texas Athletic Commission, and USADA has a higher threshold that they're looking for like THC.
Uh-huh.
USADA's testing for 150 nanograms. Texas Commission goes by the old rules as far as everything goes, the whole sport,
Uh-huh.
no instant replay and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
and they test for 50 nanograms.
50.
So,
I had 50 this morning.
50 nanograms obviously takes a lot longer to get out of your system. USADA's testing for a lot higher threshold. They care that you're high, right? Making sure you're not high the day before the day of the fight, whereas Texas Athletic Commissions was like, oh, if you smoked in the last month, you could get popped and
So
suspended.
whoever Bellator is using, that company.
It's not a company; it's the individual athletic commissions
Oh, for each
with
state.
each state.
for the states.
Ah,
Yes,
okay, I gotcha. And the state can say, "Hey, this guy tested high," and when the state says they failed the drug test, then they can't fight
then
per state rules.
Hey, and they're
they're not supposed to be able to fight in there. But if they're governed by USADA, then USADA or the UFC will hold up that same thing internationally. UFC will be like, no, like even though legally you can go fight in Brazil, we're not going to allow you to because you're suspended.
And they
So
failed the drug test before the fight, and they still let them fight.
They do a lot of times. So
Yeah.
the nanogram should be a lot higher since they're fighting in California.
Oh yeah,
Or Colorado.
oh yeah.
But I mean, her fight is in Inglewood, right in Cali. So I think
So-
the nanograms are going to be.
I like that venue. That's a real cool venue out there.
That'd be
It
cool.
was entertaining.
I've
Yeah.
never been to a
Remember
Bellator.
that, right?
Yes, I think I do.
We need to get some credentials for Bellator.
We'll work on that for you.
That'd be dope.
Bimbo. Joe Show.
That'd be cool.
Dude.
All right, this is Fight Fit Lifestyle Radio, and we'll see y'all next week.